practicals. So I already asked offline people. How about you online? Did you complete it? Yesterday's practicals? Wow, good. Yes. Puts done. Then I'll feel happy. Done. Yes. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah. And then dusted. Very good. Fantastic. Okay. So we had a nice Git and GitHub sessions, right? So I don't know how many days we took. 6, huh? Wow. Yes. So 5 or 6 days. I think we have extended us quite so many days because Git is a very. So, but what I did, so why I took these many days is, so we went slowly and then we went deeper into each and every topic, right? So each command I have shared you multiple times, right? So please go ahead and then those who have not practiced, please practice it. Practice makes man perfect. Women also. Okay. Sir, you're concentrating only on men, not women. Okay. Yes. Okay. So please practice, and definitely, if you practice, definitely you will be super on those things. And as in the DevOps stages, remember in the overview we have learned about the DevOps stages, right? So the first one is plan, code, plan, code. So what is the next thing here? Sir, మీరు offline బాగా నవ్విస్తారు అంటే. Okay, you got it from someone, huh? Nice. నవ్వు ఆరోగ్యానికి మంచిది, right? So smile is good for your health. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, with expressions. I know I'm not good in expressions, but yeah, let's move on. So we planning is like, how the code has to be planned, and then what we did, we coded. So entire code, where did we store? In GitHub, and we used a tool called Git and connected to the GitHub and have done all the operations. So assume now the entire code is there on the GitHub. First phase is done. So coding phase is done, and then the coding, yes, PCBTR DOM. Remember PCBTR DOM. So PCBTR DOM, plan, code, build. So we have already planned, we have coded, and all the code is stored inside the GitHub now. And what is the next thing? What we need to do? Build it. What we need to do? Build it. So I already told you. Remember what is the build tool that we use in our course? Maven. Say that. Maven and Gradle, MS Build. Right? There are so many tools are available. We cannot learn all the tools, but it should be good in one tool. And by the way, remember this Maven actually will be used by the developers. Who will build actually? Developers will build. Who will build? But here, as in the DevOps course, I will be also teaching how the developers will be building this code. So actually, build concept is not for us, basically, to be honest, in the real time. Online, any developers are there? Please put yes. Ranjan, okay. So tell me, Ranjan and others. So build be done by developers or not? See, our experienced developer has already approved or commented that, yes. So basically, whatever the code that you guys have done, so these developers will build it. Once you build it, what it will generate? Artifact will be generated. What will be generated? Remember, we learned this. Maven will generate. So what type of language that we are using? Java. Which one? So here, I assume that we are using Java code, Java code-based repository, right? Java code. So now, Java applications, they will use which build tool to build the Java applications? Maven. Maven is one of the favorite tools for all the Java developers. And there are different tools for different languages. So as here in the real time, mostly we have Java applications. So that's the reason why I'm taking which example? Java. So now what I have in my code repository, in my GitHub, I already have a Java sample code. What we need to do now? We need to build that code. What we need to do now? Build the code. And it is very simple tool, very straightforward tool. It's very easy. Hardly 4 or 5 commands. How many? 4 or 5. Yeah, Ranjit, we'll talk. Right? Mostly 4 or 5. That too, 3 lines, 3 words. Every command is only 3 words. And that too, first command is Maven. First command is Maven. The next 2 commands you need to learn. Right? So Maven validate, Maven compile, Maven install, Maven clean. That's all these commands. So what we need to run and show you that how we will test it, how we will compile it, how we will test it, what is Maven, and what the Maven will do. All these things we have. So I already, instead of me writing everything, I already wrote in the paint. Should I open it and explain to you? Is fine for you? So instead of wasting time, we can spend time in explanation more. So do you all agree that Maven is a build automation tool? Say that. Maven. Say that. Maven is a what? Build automation tool. So Maven, if someone asks you, Dinesh, Maven, not Maven, not Mava, Maven, M-A-V-E-N, say that, M-A-V-E-N. So Maven is a build automation, and then we also call it as, it is a project management tool. What's that? Using this Maven, what you can do is, your entire code can be validated, your entire code can be compiled, your entire code can be tested, your entire code can be installed, your entire code can be deployed. Deploy meaning not the deployment that you're talking, deploy meaning placing the war file in some other place. So all this entire Maven is managing the entire project or not? Say no, Maven is managing the entire project or not? That's why Maven is called here project management tool also. Say that. So Maven is a project management tool. So what the Maven will do? Maven helps to build to build. So build, that meaning it contains everything. It validates, it compile, it will install, it will download the packs, everything it will do for us. So what Maven will do mainly, it is used for what purpose? Build purpose. What purpose? This is mostly used for what purpose? Build purpose. So it will, so basically what Maven will do is, what is the meaning of build? So this developer will write the code, and this Maven will take the code and it will download all necessary dependencies. Say the word dependency. Say the word. Online, put in the chat. What is that? Dependency. Whenever you hear about Maven, remember it will download and install what? Dependencies. Dependencies like plugins, like libraries and all, which is required for what? Code. Which is required for what? Code. So this what? Okay, I'll write it here. Maven will install. Okay, what first it needs to download and install. What is that? Necessary. What in the dependencies? It will necessary dependencies. Main things I'm writing here. Okay. So that is different, Dinesh. Project management tool, that is different. Trello and Jira is completely different. We are talking about from the code point of view. Okay. So now what it says is in Maven, whenever we hear the tool called Maven, developer will develop the code. All Java code will be there. .class files, .jar files, .java files. I'm talking about Java. Like Java files, .class files, yeah. So you are not a Java developer. Do you know about all these things? What is .java, .class files? You don't know, right? So assume that. So developer has developed the entire code and kept it ready. What we need to do? Build it. What we need to do? Build meaning, do you go inside the code and write something? No. So for build purpose, what is the tool that we need to install? Maven. What's the tool we install? Maven. So we need to tell, hey, Maven, no. Developer has developed the code. He's put it into the GitHub repository. Where did he put? Inside the GitHub repository. First, what we need to do? Now, Maven, where to install on the EC2 instance or not? Definitely, we need to have a machine to install. What we do? We launch one EC2 instance first. And this time, I'm fed up going with Red Hat. Let's go for Amazon Linux 2. Which one? There is no harm using Red Hat. In AWS, Red Hat. Until Git also, we have used what? Red Hat. Let us learn a little bit different. Let's go with what? Amazon Linux 2. We call this AL2. AL2. What is it AL2 meaning? Amazon Linux, not ALU. Amazon Linux 2. Okay. So what we do is we will launch one Linux EC2 instance. What is the first thing what we need to do? Install Maven. What's the command? That's it. Yum install -y Maven. And Maven's need, and this the entire code is developed in Java, right? So we need to install JRE Java also. What we need to install here? Java. I'll show you how to installation. Very simple. One line command. Okay. So now what we do? We launch one EC2 instance, and then we install Maven, and we need to have the developer code or not? Where is the developer code? GitHub. Where is the developer code? GitHub. Now I want that code in my EC2 instance. In order to build that code, what I need to do? What's the command? So okay, what is the software that I should use for this? Louder. Tool we need to use for this. Git only. What tool we need to use? See, Somalika and Yogesh, the question. Try to understand the question first. I launch one EC2 instance, install Maven, done. Where is my code? GitHub. So I need to download that or not? So in order to download, what's the command that we use? Git. First install Git. First install Git. What's the command? Yum install -y Git. Git is install. And what's the Git command that you use in order to get my data? Instead of pull, we use one more command. Git. No. Clone. Easy bolo interview mein. Clone. What's the command? Git fetch meaning you already are in the working directory, you already inside the Git, and you are in the working directory, you want to see the changes from remote repository to local, then you use Git fetch. And you already using the working directory, you are already working inside it, and you already have the code in report, and you want to pull the data in your existing working directory, then use Git pull. I don't have anything, just I want to have a copy of my remote repository in my local. What do you use? Git clone. Say that one more time. 3 times. Git clone. Git clone, and we put the URL or not? Git clone that URL. So once you hit that enter, so my code is there. It bucket is what not bucket. The directory will be created or not? Directory will be created. If you go inside it, Java developer, whatever he has developed, the code will be there. Now what I need to build that code or not? In order to build that code, we already installed a tool called Maven. For Maven, need one weapon. Maven need one weapon, and that file name is pom. Pom. Say that. pom.xml. Say that. Maven. Whenever you heard about Maven, the first file that you should remember is what? Pom file. Say that. POM file. POM file. What is the full form of POM here? Project Object Model. Say that. Project Object Model. POM. Nice name, no? POM. POM.xml. XML, you know, full format, right? Extension markup language, right? So here, pom.xml, Maven will see all the time pom.xml. Whatever that you have mentioned in that pom.xml, Maven will use that and then do everything work. So what does this pom.xml contain? In this pom.xml, we will mention what are all the dependencies that needed. What we need? Say that. Dependencies. What are all the plugins that we need? What are all the configurations we need? Everything, where do we mention? In POM file. And all the project details. What's that here? project details. Everything I'll mention where in pom. Only one pom.xml. Can you tell me here now, what does the pom.xml contains? Project details, dependencies, plugins, some configurations. Getting it? And by the way, I'll try to make you understand very nicely, but all these things will be done by whom? Do you know what dependencies will be there in the project? So these developers will give you this pom. Developers will give you the pom.xml. You know need to create it. Now relax, relax. Right? So this developer will create the Java code and developer will do the build itself. And if you want to do the build using Maven command, the pom.xml should be there. And who will create this pom.xml? Developer. So, but here, yes, we will ask developer bhaiya, give me pom.xml file. And then developer will give the pom because developer knows what kind of code that he has written and what kind of dependencies are there inside it. And what are the project details he know? Do we know? For that reason, pom.xml will be given by what? Developer. But I already have one sample pom.xml for you already in my repository. Okay, now? Okay? Super. In company, someone is calling pom. Okay, I think now you understand, right? Very good. So pom is nothing but here they are talking about Maven. What they are talking about, what are here? Maven. So here, whenever I say project details meaning it contains something called group ID. Say that. This will be done by the developers only, but I'm just telling you a little bit more information for you. It contains group ID and it contains artifact ID. Say that. Artifact ID. And tell me, Somalika, tell me now. So version, and then it contains what? Dependencies. So all this project, yeah. So all these project details meaning it contains group ID. What is in here? Project. The group ID meaning related to project. Related to project. Artifact meaning it is related to the project module or what exactly it contains. Artifact, war file, jar file, what details. Version meaning the version of your application. 1.2. Whichever. Right? Dependency, what are exactly the dependencies that our Maven need to download for this project. What exactly dependencies that Maven needs to download for this project that is represented here in the dependencies in project details section. Is it clear? Online city, clear? Maven hyphen version, no? Dinesh. Maven hyphen V. Okay, online is clear, clear, getting it? Super. Okay. So you understand plugins right here? What we are talking about here? Plugins. Plugins meaning. So plugins meaning you can think about few packages, few patches, few libraries that needs to be downloaded for a particular project. It requires for compilation, it requires for testing purpose, right? Plugin meaning extra things, extra fittings. It's like extra fittings. So developer has developed some code, right? To support that, we need to download that plugin so that the plugins will help you to download required all the dependencies for the project. Understood? And for that, exactly. So surefire. So there is a plugin called, say that here, Maven compiler plugin, say that. And then Maven surefire plugin, and then Maven jar plugin. Was it? I think there are a few developers are there, Manohar, Sumalika. So we are going right. Developers, Ranjan, are we on the track? Yes or no? Yes. So these are all done by this. So these are all the famous plugins that these developers use. What are those plugins? Say that again. Maven compiler plugins, Maven surefire plugins, and then Maven jar plugins. So there are different plugins. These are the very common plugins that we use in the pom.xml. Whatever that I'm talking about, everything will come under pom. Right? So plugins is a Maven's functionality to perform tasks. What kind of task? It will do the compilation, testing, packaging, deployment, documentation. Everything will be done by these plugins only. Let's say Maven will also do the test or not. So to do the test, we need to have plugin. Which plugin it will use? Surefire. In order to Maven compile the entire code, which plugin it will use? Compiler. In order to convert it to jar var files, which plugins that you should use? Jar. And whichever the project support is the class files, everything we use here, jar plugins. Getting it? You getting the idea? You should be in today developer mode. Those if correct plugins like accessories on bike, extra fittings. Okay, which will help you to get the entire things right. Okay, now coming to the main step. So we have something called build life cycles. What is that? Build life cycles. Online, put in the chat. What is that? Build life cycle. So Maven has series of build phases. What is that? Build life cycles also you can say, or build. What is that? Phases. Say that. Build phases. There are multiple phases to be executed order by order. So what are those phases? Number one. Say that. Validate. Say that. Validate meaning it will check the entire project is correct or not. It will check the validate. It will check the project is correct or not. Next, say that compile. So whatever the code the developer has written, it will compile the code using plugins. Using what? Plugins. After compile, what it does? It will test it. So it runs the test. And after that, it will what? Package. Say that. Package meaning I told you, what is the extension of the package? Var. Which one? Say that again. Say that again. Say that. Var file. Say that. Var file. So after that, install and then finally deploy. So these are the build phases of Maven. So if they ask or any interview questions, what are the build phases of Maven? Then you should say what? VCT PID. VCT PID. What is VCT PID? VCT PID. Validate, compile, test, package, install, deploy. Got it? VCT. Again, tell me the phases. Validate, compile, test, then package, install, deploy. So here package meaning it will package in which file? WAR file. Install meaning it will create that WAR file in some home directory. We will see that. Deploy meaning if you want to place it in some other place, that is called deploy. Deploy meaning not the application deployment. No, the WAR file will be placed in some location. You understand here? So in order to run all these phases, we have the commands for it. What's that? What do we have? Commands. What do we have here? Commands. Okay. If you want to Maven validate, so here we install git no. So that means what's the command that we use? Git command. So for Maven, mvn. Say that. What's the command that we use? Mvn. Say that. Mvn. Mvn is the Maven command. Okay. So Maven. What's the first command here? Validate. Next to Maven, compile. Next to Maven, test. Next to Maven, package. Next to Maven. Next to Maven. Next to Maven. Clean meaning? Clean. Say this in interview. Maven in it. Clean. Okay. So this is the commands that we use in. So tell me what are the commands here? Say what's the command of Maven? Mvn. Maven validate we do. Maven compile we do. Maven test we do. Maven package we do. Maven install. Maven deploy and Maven clean. And there is no technical. Run the commands and keep quiet. That's it. It will do everything for you. Run the commands and keep quiet. Nothing you need to do here. The only important thing here is what in Maven pom file is important. Which file is that? Pom.xml file. So you all understood what does the pom contains here? What is the full form of pom? Project object model. What does it contain? It contains dependencies, it contains plugins, it contains project information, it contains all kind of configuration. Maven will work based on the pom file only. And this pom file will be given by whom? Developers to you. If they don't give also, just take a sample pom file, that is fine. And what are the build phases that Maven has? Validate, compile, test, package, install, deploy. And to run the commands, put mvn in front. Is that clear? Clear? This is what I wrote everything here in this. I'll be sharing this to you. Okay. Okay. So, and also I wrote for extra information purpose. Okay. See, I already told about all these things here. Do you know what is group ID now? Group ID, artifact ID, version, dependencies. Right. And the build phases, validate, compile, test, package, install, and then deploy. You can use other technology also. So mostly commonly for Java, okay, it's okay. It's not mandatory to put clean here, but we use clean also. Okay, Lifecycle here also we have clean. So I told you what is plugin and what is the common plugins that we use: Maven, compiler plugin, Maven, surefire plugins, and Maven jar. See, for Java-based tools, what is the build tool that we use here? Maven. What is that? Maven is from Apache only. Apache Tomcat you heard now. So there's another tool from Apache Maven. So Apache Maven and then Gradle and so these tools will be used for the Java build purpose. Okay, here Ranjan. So you can use Maven also, you can use Gradle also, you can use and for which one? Java build tools. And then if you have Node.js applications, some developers are developing in Node.js, right? For Node.js, they use Node Package Manager, NPM. Those who are developers, they know, right? NPM, Webpack, Parcel, Run, then Gulp, and then roll up. There's so many are there. Okay. Next, C++. Remember C++? Printf, huh? On those days, huh? I used to do in college days. And trust me, I never look back C++ since then. Only on college days we learned. But there are also jobs on C++ now also. Yeah. So for this, do you remember make command when we are doing C++ for build purpose? If you have developed the entire C++, what we have wrote the code only Fibonacci series. What remember C programs that we used to do? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I understand. Okay, sorry to disappoint you. Okay, so see factorials, yes. So fine. So make, CMake, Meson, and then Ninja. Everything will be used to build tools for what? See, for Python we use what? Setup tools. Say that. Setup tools. So poetry and then build. So these are all the build tools for which one? Python. Someone asked for Python, which one we use. So mostly we use here setup tools, which is common. So for .NET, so we use MS Build, Cake, and Nuke. So Cake is also, and also there is a tool. There is a tool I use Chocolate. Yeah, the Chocolate. Have you someone developers? Do you know Chocolate? Chocolate, the different pronunciation. So we used to do using Chocolate also, right? Yes, for PHP. Yeah, Compose, correct. Okay. All right. So is this clear here? Clear, everyone? Online CC? Online clear, please. Thank you. Okay. So here next is, as we are talking about Java. Yeah, correct. Susan. Sorry, Susanta. Yeah. Sir, I heard there is. Sir, see here. I'll tell you. See. When you are using Java, so they write the code with the extension of .java. Say that. This is basic raw files. What is that here? Raw files. So they write there. So and if they compile it, then we got here dot class files. What was it? So these are called executable files. I'm teaching a little bit of Java now here. Don't worry, but little bit. There are few developers also there online, so they will connect a little bit. But you also, as I told you, DevOps meaning you should not be very far for the development. You should know at least, but you are not there to go and do the Java code. But at least you should know about the concepts of it. No need to write it, but at least you should know. Okay, developers they write the code. What is the extension of the file? Dot Java. So and then dot class meaning what files are those? Executable files. And then dot dot jar or dot var. We call it as artifacts. Say that. So say that here. So dot jar files meaning here is a group of it's a group of dot class files. Say that. Jar meaning it's a package, right? Yeah, one file. What is the files that developers they will write dot Java? Which one? So and dot Java will be converted to dot class files. What is that? Dot class. And the group of dot class files jar file. So if you extract jar file, you will get number of class files. Little bit Java. Okay. I know you hate the coding it, but a little bit. Okay. And this one is mostly work for the backend purpose. What purpose? Works for backend code. We call it as backend. And then dot var files. What's that here? Dot var files. So it contains front end and backend data. What's that? It contains front end and then backend. So front end here, I'm talking about HTML, CSS, and all, right? And then here JavaScript, everything will come under the front end. And the backend meaning here we're talking about Java actually. Front end and then backend. So I'm just giving a little bit overview of the Java things because you are working on which project? Java project only, right? No need to worry about this again, right? Again, remember this. So developers develop the code. What is the extension of the file that you use? .java. Which one? .java. And then after writing the Java files, they convert all the Java files into dot class. And if they group the dot class files, then it will become what? Jar files or var files. Clear enough? Online? So front end meaning here. So jar files, so they go for the backend. So dot var files meaning it contains front end and also backend. Now you tell me, Sav and everyone, do we deploy only backend or we need to deploy front end and backend? Both. So that means tell me which one we should be using it. Jara, Vara. Var file. That's why we'll be using what? Var file. So if you go for dot jar files, that contains only backend, but var also contain what? Front end and backend. So that's why mostly we will use which one? Var files. Who are you? Developers. Okay. Nice. Var in war room. Okay. So Java, these developers first they write what? Java code. What they do? Java code. And what we need to do here first? Validate. Next, compile. Sorry. And next here, package. Next, install. Next, deploy. We don't use much because deploy is nothing but you're putting that into some other place. We are using only one EC2. We are not putting in some other place. So remove deploy. So directly what we do? Okay. So what this guy will do? Java code they do. Who will be doing this? Developer. And validate meaning we will say that project is correct or not. Project is correct or not. And then compile. What is that? Compile. Compile meaning compiling the code or not. So they'll compile the code. So compile the code is nothing but they will, so whatever the Java files that they have, it is getting converted to dot class files. This when if you compile it. If you compile it, whatever the Java raw code that you have written, that will be converted to dot class files. So and then obviously these class files will be tested or not here. And then this collection of class files will become what? Var files or jar files. Got it? Online, you're getting it? Install meaning whatever the var files that you have created, that it got created, this will be copied into root directory called, there is one hidden directory called M2. Say that? M2. This is Maven home folder. Maven home folder, home directory. Where is the home directory? Under root.m2. Dot represent hidden. So all your project information will be copied into which directory? M2 directory. If someone asks you, all the artifacts will be copied. If someone asks you what is the home directory of Maven, then what do you say? M2. Say that here. M2. Clean meaning finally what you do? Delete the target folders. What's that? Delete the target. Now, class meaning here, dot class files, it will create a separate directory called target. Target is the folder where it contains the entire artifacts inside it. Clean meaning it will delete the target folder. Online today, clear? Jar meaning Java archive. Var meaning web archive. Year meaning enterprise. Enterprise archive. That is a artifacts. So it looks like you're a Java expert. See, in my experience, we know the overview. So I'm not a Java coder, but I used to do .NET development when I was in my starting days of Infosys. So apart from handling data centers, I used to create. Should I tell you one thing? I got 1 award. Right? I got so many awards. What happened was there was a situation where I'm working in remember Nortel project, data center, 600 employees, AWS people, right? So what we need to do is every employee, 600 people, what they need is they need to come to me And then what I need to do is I need to create users, etc., in the Nortel company using their website. For that, employee need to give me a paper about the entire information that has to be approved by the manager. That manager needs to be approved from the HR, and then it has to come to me, and then I need to create a user. It is a big process. This was taking so many days to complete, creating one user in the customer location. And what I did, I was the person who was doing these manual things. One day what happened is, I thought, why can't I automate all these things? I was the first person where I have automated this 10 days manual work using a tool in .NET. I developed an application. 10 days work will be completed in 3 minutes using the tool .NET development, right? So for that, I got excellence award. So that was my first project as a developer that I worked on. So I still remember it's GAA, Global Authentications. GAA, it was in Nortel. Okay. I don't have those photos that I got. I have all those excellence award certificates also. So those are all kids' time, right? Yeah, fine. And also, as I told you, right, Naren sir, Naren Murthy sir also, yeah, good. Okay. So what is full form of Java? This jar file, Java archive, war file, web archive, ER file, enterprise archive. Thank you, Deepthi. Right? And do you see this here? Which one we'll be using here? Web archive. Which one here? Web archive. War file contains front-end also, backend also, but jar file contains only backend. So that's the reason why we will be deploying what? War files. Now you got the entire idea of little bit Java. Nice Java class also. Right? So a little bit of Java, how the Java works, right? And then what the Maven will be doing inside it, what the Maven contains. Is everything clear? Online city clear? So all these validate, compile, test, package, install, clean. All these we call it as stages, and also we call it as goals. We call it as Maven goals. Say that. Validate is a goal. Compile is a goal. Test is a goal. Package is a goal. Install is a goal. Clean is a goal. Whichever the goal that you want to execute, execute it. Goal is nothing but a task or a stage. We call it as what? Maven goals. Clear, everyone? Online, can I give this? So can you give the CC till here, please? Now you all understood. Okay, I wrote that nicely here for you. Yeah. So we call it as Maven phases, and also we call it as Maven goals. So Maven is what here? It's a build tool. It's a free and completely open source. What the build meaning? What? Process of adding the libraries and dependencies to the code. That is called build. I told you, what the build will do. It will download all the dependencies and all related libraries. Goal meaning what? It is a command used to perform the task. Validate is a goal or task. So I told you validate meaning project is correct or not, and I wrote clearly here Java meaning basic raw files, .class meaning execute files, .jar var meaning artifacts. Is clear on the Maven theory? So Maven needs to have contained what file exactly? POM file. What file? pom.xml. Okay. So now what we do is, I already have a repository where it's a Java project where we can use the Java project, and then what we do, we will build it. What we do here, build it. So what we do is now as a practical, let's go and launch one EC2 instance. Don't worry. See the notepad. Huh? I'm expecting something. Thank you. Okay. Okay. See, the lab here is what you need to do now. Launch. Which one? Amazon Linux 2 EC2 instance. See here, we need to get source code and build. So that we need, for that, what we need to install? We need to install Git and Maven. So as we need to download, clone the remote repository. I'll show you where is my remote repository. So here, you know, right? This is my ID. Right? Inside, you go to the repositories, and if you come down, do you see this here? Java project Maven new. Right? So I created this for you here. What you need to do? Clone on the EC2 instance. But this has to be done in your Git account, right? What you need to do? Fork. Super. What you need to do? Fork. So everyone, what you do now here? Go into my repository, and what you need to do? Fork it. If you fork it, do you see this here? Source contains entire Java code, and what I have here? pom.xml. So online people, fork it if you are already there. Okay, so I'm just putting it repo path. So what you can do is simply click on fork, and then that will be fork. So fork it in your repository so that the repo also name will be the same thing for you. Okay. Now what do you do quickly? Should we go and launch EC2 instance first of all? Online, you're able to access that link. Can you please confirm once? Okay, good. Fork it. Don't fork all the things whichever is required for that repository only, but I'll tell you which one to be fork whichever time comes. But now fork only that. Some people, whatever the repository, 28 repositories, they'll start keeping forking. Right? It is, yeah. Okay, let's quickly go and launch EC2 instance. Launch instance. And this time, what is the EC2 instance that I will be launching? Yeah. So Amazon Linux 2, good AL2, right? T2 micro and 730 here. Select and then what? Launch. And what we use? MOBA extra. No putty kitty. I didn't give name. Okay. So what I do? Uh, let me explain first. So Maven need what, Nana? Java. So whichever the latest version that you want to use, you can install the Java version, but I'm just going for Java 1.8. So this OpenJDK, I'm installing it. What are the things I'm installing? Tell me. Yum install, I'm installing. Git also I'm installing. Java I'm installing. Maven I'm also installing. What is tree? No, don't worry, you don't know. No, not that working tree. I know that you'll be saying that. Not that your Git working tree. Uh, yes, correct. Tree meaning is nothing. In Linux, basically, if you create subfolders, will you able to see all in one shot in the tree structure? How? Will you able to see? You need to do cd directory go and ls, cd directory go ls, cd directory ls, cd directory yes or no? So if you use tree command, it will show the entire subfolders in one shot only. It will be useful for you in one shot. What are all the So tree command. So what are all the subdirectories that you have inside it? Everything will be shown in the tree format. Okay, I'll do it. I'll show you. Don't worry. Okay, so what we do? We'll be installing all these things, and then we'll use what Maven -v. What's the meaning of Maven -v here? Version. So whether Maven is installed properly or not. If it is showing the version, that meaning Maven is installed. After that, what I need to do? Git clone. What I need to do? Git clone. And I need to clone my URL or not? So this is the URL. Direct. If you want to clone, guys, online, take it. So no. Hold on. Remove. Don't delete. No. Okay. So don't clone from my URL. So you should have your own URL in your repository. You already forked it. So go inside the repository, go to code, and you'll get HTTPS URL. So you should be cloning from your repository. There is no harm cloning from my repository because it is my public repository. But please clone it from your own repository because you already forked it. Got it? So how to get this URL? Okay, see. Go to here. So this is my project. You see code, and you see this is the URL. As you already forked, you also have this repository or not? So copy this HTTPS URL. So git clone, and then it will create a directly. Go inside that directory, and then it has a code. What are the code that it has? See, src is there, right? Go inside it. What it contains? It contains some web app, index.html, JSP file, all these things. What is this code, sir? I have took one sample code. I have modified accordingly. I will not be deploying this code now. What is the tool we are using here? Maven. It's a build purpose. I'm showing here only build. Am I showing deployment? No, right? So now, once you do this build, Maven will generate what file? Var file. That var file contains the application. This var file I need to deploy to where? Tomcat. Where? Once I teach you Tomcat, then I'll deploy this var file. Then you'll see the application. Now, can you see the application? You can generate only what? Var file. This is which stage? Build stage. In build stage, you can get only var files. Now, sir, I want to see the application. Wait, you need to deploy that var file into the Tomcat. Then only you can see the application. So, yeah, nice. Okay, so correct. Yes. Okay, no. So here I have written. So if you open the POM file, and do you see this here? This is the XML file. I told you no group ID. Group ID. I'll say in.ria something. So what artifact ID? My app, and here version, and then it is my app, and this is some compilers, plugins, dependencies. So I mentioned I took a sample POM file, and then I just modified it. You can use the same POM file, but if you have another POM file also, you can see so many POM files you get it from internet. Okay. So let's connect first of all. Okay. Yeah, correct. EC2 hyphen. So, clear. What's the landing command? Okay. Oh, we have done so many commands in Linux, right? So what is the first thing that we need to do? Yum install git java maven tree. So let's go and install this. You can install one by one also. You can keep all the things in one shot also. Install it. See, it is downloading Java. Right? Yeah. See here, I clear it. And then here, Maven minus V. So do you see Apache Maven 3.0.5 got installed or not? Okay. So now, listen carefully. So what I need to do now? Now I need to, my Git is also there or not? Git is also installed. So what I need to do now? I need to clone my repository. So what's the command to clone? Git clone, and what I need to put? URL. Where is the URL? Go back to the code, and then code here, copy, and then enter. Clone. So now here, if I do ls, do you see the directory? So let's go inside the what's the command? cd java ls. So I have pom.xml and then source also. So now from here, and also I have installed a command called tree. What's that? Tree. If I put tree, you see? You understand? What are all the subtypes? In source, I have main Java, in Java home controllers, calculator Java, in web app, I have all these .web files, .png files, Disney kit something, right? And all and index.jsp. You see, it is the purpose of tree because you can see everything in tree format. Okay, fine. Okay, Nana. So what's the first command that I need to do? Maven validate. So validate is fine. So directly what we do is I told you about goals and things. So what we need to let's go and do Maven compile. Let's go directly. You can do Maven validate also. So what we do first? Maven compile. Maven compile. Enter. Do you see what it does is? Do you see? It is scanning the what it is doing. It is downloading what? These are all the dependencies that is getting downloaded. Do we need to worry about what are the things that will be downloaded? No. This is the magic of the Maven where it will download all required dependencies required for the project. See how many things got downloading. See what it says here now? Success. Build success. So that meaning compile is done or not? What's the next command? Maven test. What's the command? MEN test. See? Now it is downloading surefire. Do you see surefire? So it is downloading whichever is required here. So once the Maven test is created or not? So once you Maven test it, do you see here if I put tree, you see .class files? Right? .class files got created or not? And then do you see surefire reports test is also done? Do you see this is the txt file and this is the XML file that whatever the test that Maven has done, everything is inside this reports. Which one is there? Surefire. For what purpose? Testing purpose. Whatever that Maven has tested, the entire information will be inside this txt file. Right? So here was the test Java file. And what folder is in Java directory? In the target directory, what got created here? .class files got created. Previously, calculator which file was there? Java. Now that is in main. But now once I created compile, Maven compile we did, right? Once you have done Maven compile, it will create the class files, .class files. .class files will be in which directory? Target directory. So it creates a target directory and then class files got created. And then whatever is required for, and we also done Maven test. So Maven test has downloaded surefire plugins and then it has tested and everything reports will be inside this. What's the next command? Maven package. So Maven package, it is what it does. It will collect the entire class files and it will create what? Collection of class files is var file. Fantastic. So now package meaning it will collect that entire class file and then what? So how many? There's only one file actually, right? And now do you see this here? See this here? Var file got created or not? Var file got created or not? So where is that var file? In the target folder. If you see, do you see target folder got created? Sorry, directory. If you go inside this directory, what I have here? My app.var cd. Which one? Target. You see this here? Var file is ready. This is the outcome of Maven. This is the outcome of Maven. And this var file, what we need to do is we need to take this var file and then deploy on Tomcat. Now build phase is completed. What's the next phase? After build, test. Test we will test it. Smells. That meaning what is the tool that we use for smelling the code, scanning the code? SonarQube. Which one? SonarQube. We'll talk SonarQube. After that, what we do? After tester. Artifacts, we got artifacts already here. Next, deploy. So what is the tool that we use for deployment? Jenkins. Which one? Jenkins. Jenkins will deploy into Tomcat. You're getting it? Right? So, so we are created a var file and then what we need to do? What's the next step? Maven install. Yes or no? So if you do Maven install, I told you, what is the home directory of Maven? .m2. In which directory? Root directory. So by default now there is no root directory. There is no .maven .m2 directory in root. Now if I do a Maven install, it will create the .m2 directory. Should we do it here? Maven what? Stop. Okay. You see this here. Installing all these things into where? So if I want to go there, if you want to list that M2, so ls, which one? Root dot M2. Do you see that repository got created here? And we already created, we have done, and last was the final command, Maven deploy is not required, Maven clean. What's that here? Maven clean. If I do Maven clean, what it does? It will delete the target folder completely. So we are done with it, and then we have to see deleting the target. What is the purpose of Maven? You all understood now? The purpose is build purpose. So in Maven, we have different types of goals. So Maven validate, Maven compile, Maven test, package, install, deploy, or clean. So these are all called goals. So once you do all these things, the end result is the var file. So the output of the Maven that we need to take is what here? Var file. And we take that var file. If you want to store, var file is what? Artifact or not? If you want to store this artifact carefully, use which tool? Nexus. If you want to deploy this war file, where do you deploy? Tomcat. Get it? And if you want to scan the code for this war file, where do you do? Sonar. Okay. And if you want to integrate all these things, which tool you use? Jenkins. So we have now successfully completed Maven. From next class, Jenkins will start. Understood? Super clear? Now you have got, you can do validate also. Okay, see, Chandan, we have done that. Okay. Okay, fire. Huh? Okay, nice. Nice emojis. We make good learning so far. Nice. Nothing will happen. So it's always good to clean the target folder. There's nothing will happen. Clean is if nothing will happen, Dinesh. Unnecessarily, the files will be there. Okay. Will you able to do this practice, Maven? What about Sonar Cube? You tell me. Should I take Sonar Cube? Should I take Jenkins? I want correct answer. The answer should be your wish, sir. Yeah, you know better, sir. Jenkins is most commonly used tool. We'll go for Jenkins. Guys, I know what to teach, what to take next. You know, right? You travel with me with AWS. Did you ever ask which tool next, which service next? And then I carefully took one by one, which is integrated real time, everything based on things or not. So here also, next tool, we'll go with the Jenkins. So in the Jenkins, I'll be integrating Sonar Cube and I'll be integrating Nexus. No need to separately learn Nexus, no need to separately learn Sonar Cube. When we learn Jenkins, when we're writing the Jenkins pipelines, then Jenkins, what Jenkins will do is, in Jenkins, we'll create a pipelines. So Jenkins, first it will take the code from GitHub. And then what we do? Maven. We already completed Maven. So we'll install Maven also. And then in Jenkins, we'll mention Maven compile, Maven package. So Maven, all these things we do. After this Maven, Sonar Cube, then I'll be teaching how to install Sonar Cube on a separate server, how to integrate the Sonar Cube in this Jenkins. Then the Jenkins will go to the Sonar Cube and get this war file got scanned. And next, this war file need to be stored in Nexus. For that reason, when I'm teaching Jenkins, I'll stop for 1 day and then I install Nexus. I'll show you how to install Nexus and then I run the Jenkins pipeline. This war files will be stored in Nexus. So I'll take care of it. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. Super. All right. So what I do as usual. And how about tomorrow? First. In real time, Maven use developer or operation teams. I told you, Abhijit. So Maven, as per the DevOps pipeline, we need to run that command in the pipeline. But pom file will be given by the developers. But build should be done by us only. But if something goes wrong with the build, are we responsible or developer? Developer. Who is that? Because what you don't know. So if something goes wrong with the build, so if some error comes, so you need to ask developers, so the build is getting failed. What do you do? What your job is, create a pipeline, integrate all these things. DevOps meaning don't think that everything will be done by DevOps only. No.